Welcome to part 6 of this tutorial, and we're going to do embers right now. But before that, as usual, I'm going to go back and correct something. In PyroSim, I want to go into gas particle to field. I want to change the calculation from copy to add. And that has a different effect, as you already know. It keeps adding to the fuel, okay? Because we are actually adding it to the destination field, which is fuel, okay? So you can see it looks a lot different, okay? So, and if I go out, that's how it looks like. And if I render this for a second, there you go. So I think that's a lot better. So I'm going to leave it like that, and let's make embers now. Alright, I'm going to pull these two down here and create a geometry. I'm going to call this embers source. I'm going to dive in. Let's create a sphere. Polygon. Change the primitive type to polygon. And I want the uniform scale to be 0.5 and frequency 16. And then I'm going to clip this. I'm going to add a normal, point normal. I'm going to add a point velocity. And in basic initialization, I want it from attribute, and the attribute name is normal. Okay. And let's go to curl noise, and let's activate curl noise. And I think I'm going to leave all of these at default. I'm going to go into conical noise and activate that. Let's enable this. Maybe I should enable V. There you go. Before, after. I'm going to leave the mode at add. Change the angle to, I don't know, 56, I guess. And direction is the same. That's all good. I want to copy this seed and paste it here. So paste relative references. I'm going to say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think it was. So, you know, I'm going to call it 10. Okay, good. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go inside of flash line source. I'm going to copy this popnet because we've already created all these things. Just copy that and paste it here. If I go in, you can see the pop property and whatnot. And in the first input, again, in under birth seed, I think I'll change this to 9. Everything else can be the same, I guess. I'm just going to get rid of this velocity visualization. So let's run this. Enable this one. Okay. Okay, the velocity is a little too small, so I'm going to increase this to 10. Yeah, that looks okay. I think that's all I wanted. You can change the pop property here if you like, but I'm going to leave it. It's not a big deal. Alright, good. Okay, I'm going to create an attribute randomize. And let's call this p-scale. Set the global scale to 0.1. And the distribution is custom ramp. I'm going to fit the value between 0 to 1. When you say 1 here, it's actually 0.1 because the global scale is multiplied by the value here. Okay, so that's good. I'm just going to push this all the way to the end because I don't want too many of these big ones. I'm just going to pull the value down, and I'm also going to pull this value down a little. Alright, good. I think that's all I wanted, and I just want to go into options, and maybe it's still there. I want to paste that seed thing. I'll say +8. Different number every time. Okay, I'll save it. And we're gonna, let me put in a null, and we'll say out embers. Okay, so let's come out of it. Let's go to shop. Okay, shop context. Let me create an RS incandescent material, and I'm going to call this embers, and I will allow editing of contents. Go inside. I'm going to put in an RS point attribute and connect. Change this to age, because in here we have age coming from this one. Alright, so if you look here, where is it? If you look here, you got age, okay, and we're going to use that and create a ramp and connect the scalar to here. We're going to change the ramp to black body and connect that to color. And yeah, I think that's good. So now it's set to color, mode is color, and everything should technically work. And I need to enable this material here. Okay, I'm going to save this, and let's see here. You can see a little bit of that right here. I don't know if you can see. There. Okay. So maybe I should increase the number of particles. So let's go in. Let's make this 5,000. I'm going to leave the constant activation at 4. Okay. That's alright. There. There's a lot more now, which is good. I guess we can, okay, there. So I'm going to set it to cam1. I'm going to try and render this now. Nothing is showing up. Okay. And that may be because Embers SRC is currently just a bunch of particles. Okay, if you want to render particles in redshift, you gotta go into the redshift obj tab, particles tab, render object as particles. Now something should come up. There you go. So that's perfect. So that is now working. But let's figure out if that is correct, because it's already red, which means it's not very good. So I'm going to pull these things to the end and maybe change this like that. So it's going to stay orange as much as possible, and then eventually it'll turn red. I'm just going to pull the intensity down. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, I think that looks good. Alright, that's all I wanted. Maybe you want to enable velocity blur here, and in object, sorry, in you want to enable velocity blur and motion blur here, okay, as well. And we can render that again just to see. Yeah, velocity blur is coming into play. That's good. Don't enable velocity blur for the flash lines because it's already emulating that. Okay, good. So that's embers. We're done with that. Next part, what we're going to do is we're going to do a lot of refining. Okay.